Okay. Hello, everybody. Happy 2024. Can you believe it? Can you believe it's 2024? Um, we'll get started really quick with Gloria, but guys, Gloria Brinker. Gloria, I want you to speak to in a second what your mindset was when you heard about the promotion of people being able to use multiple credits, and then what the pose threw in with extra money on top of that, what your mindset was. But I want you guys to know this little Tootie like worked her Tootie off. She worked so hard. She was up over 10,000 in volume, over 10,000. And she did it in the last few days of the month. It's insane. It's insane what she did. And she made diamond again, of course. Her customer sales volume was 6,912. 6,912. So I asked her to come on tonight. I know she doesn't get too often because she's working, but I just wanted you to speak into the team, Gloria, what your mindset was going into this, the last few days, and what you believe is possible now that you've done it.
Well, I think that, well, I'm so customer based probably too, that I always want to serve the customers really well. And so when I would always see their points, many of them tallying up, because if their points were tallying up. And so when I saw that they were able to kind of like take advantage of of that, I just thought in my head, okay, I just gotta touch base with every customer. That's just what it has to be, because why would I not want to inform them if they have those points that they can be utilizing them. And so it was really more about service and about just making sure that they were aware that they had their dollars and that they could spend on those dollars. Basically, that's what it was, is just to let them really know. And then also to reach out to the consultants. And a lot of them, of course, the ones that are active and on here, they were aware of it. But a lot of them that probably don't always come on the calls, they weren't aware of it either. So I would just send them a quick text. Excuse me, just to let them know. And then I don't know, and then it just kind of happened. I don't know. you know. And also have a great, the people that are active are incredibly dedicated as well to their customer base. And so that was very good too, because they were, I kind of have a group chat of like about 14 of them. And it's kind of like, here, you want to touch base with your customers? And if you don't have time, then let me know and I will be able to do it. But a lot of them are just so customer based and so good to their customers as well. And so it wasn't just me, it was all of them kind of touching base with their customers. And to just, I don't know, I was surprised. And then I remember too that I think it was Sean who's like, treat Friday as the last day of the month, treat it as the last day of the month. So I thought, well, okay. And then I allocated some time. And so I just touched base with pretty much all the people that I could think of. I copied off my downline, and then I checked with the different other consultants. And many of them are on here tonight, but touch base with them to say, like, are you going to touch base with your customers? Sure. Should I, and stuff. And then really Friday, I kind of treated it as the last day of the month to kind of like, I need to touch base with everybody today. And then Saturday and Sunday, I feel like I still touch base with people, and but I was really more like, okay, now let's see what happens. And then I couldn't believe it either. I couldn't believe that that many people took advantage of it, and everybody was happy that they could use up their points, and that people were just happy. So
I think a testament to this too, you guys, a big lesson in this is, I know for a lot of us, and I know for Gloria especially with what you do, right? She takes very good care of her customers, and you're in contact with them often. And it's one of those things, I was telling my daughter about this the other day, that how you treat people matters, right? Because, and the more that you're in service of others, the more that you reach out to others, then when that day comes that you want it to be reciprocated, that maybe there's a little more give and take, that's going to happen more likely because of how you've shown up for them. So I just believe that the lesson here is we have to set that standard now. And really, and Gloria, you said that it was being of service. And that's what I want for you guys. I don't want anyone to ever feel like this is a job and it's draining. I want you to always feel like you are performing an act of service when you are sharing the products, when you are reaching out to your customers, like you're really helping them. And I know when I made those calls too, like people were so excited to be able to, not everybody was willing to do it. Not everybody wanted to, and that's okay, right? I know all of you put in the work and made those phone calls, and not everybody did. I don't even know what the percentage would have been, but Gloria, for you to put in the work that you did and be up over 10,000 in volume is just extraordinary. And it's just, again, a belief builder that anything is possible if you put your mind to it and you have the right heart behind it when you do it. You didn't go into any of it with desperation. You went into all of it with thinking about them and how they could benefit and how they could save. And it just completely, yeah, I'm just so, so proud of you. You were mentioned on the post Zoom with the corporate staff. So yeah, congratulations on a phenomenal move. So
Yeah.
thank you for showing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
I think I
refreshing.
think that is, I just wanted all the customers to know. And then also there's just the consultants to know too, that they had a $20 sitting there from LifeVantage. And then of course what the Pose offered as well. But once again, it really was because, because I have a group of 14 that I have in this group text. And if they wouldn't have all reached out to their own customers, I just never expected it. And I didn't really go in with like a huge goal of like, I want this much, I want this much. It was more like, I want to reach out to everybody and let them know that they have some money sitting on the table there and they could, utilize that to get more products or try a new product. But it definitely wasn't alone. I mean, my team is just like fabulous. I have really good consultants who very much care for their customers.
I've said this before, but like our back office is the warmest market that we can have. Whether it's your customers maybe becoming consultants or the consultants becoming just product users, but they're still a consultant, right? And Gloria thought about them as well. And it's the same thing, just like when we're prospecting a guest, we don't want to be that person that's always just reaching out to them when we want to talk business, right? We want to be the person that's a friend. I think the same goes for our organization and our downline at the same time. Like if you can be that caring person that reaches out to them, even when it's not about business, and then when you do reach out about like something like this, a discount or a new promotional product or anything, you're more apt to get feedback and for them to listen to you because of the relationship that you developed. And Eric Worre has said that in 2024 and especially this year and the way the world is changing, it's all about relationships. It is all about trust and it's going to be all about service. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to our other diamond qualifiers. And that being said, to Jen, I know Jen Dykstra had some amazing conversations that led to consultants wanting to talk again, customers becoming consultants, like people that are really excited. Like this ignited those kind of conversations. So Jen Dykstra was also a diamond again. Christy Spaniel had 6,204 in volume. She went to work. Laura Nowicki was a diamond. She had 5,401 in customer volume. Jen Dykstra had 4,747 in volume. And then our Emerald qualifiers, I'll go to Onyx. Our Onyx qualifiers, which is 500 to 999 in customer volume, was Dan Desmond, Beth Gustafson, Jennifer Schreiner, Kathy Brandon, Diana Rawlings, Tina Van Heel, Tom and Alyssa Spaniel, Christy Sale, or Crystal Sale, Jeannie Eveline, Kristen Storm. Wait, is this the right list?
No, because they were Emerald.
Yeah. What did I do? Oh, you guys, I just did that. I'm on the wrong list. Ugh. Yep, that's not right. I can't find my right list. Okay. Well, I will be posting the celebrations. Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened to my notes. Hold on, let me look on my phone real quick. I want to get this right. I thought I had them all organized. Okay, I have it. Here we go. Onyx was Tamara Marstein, Jennifer Schreiner, Jamie Knupp, Mary Dockendorf, Katie Kangas, Darlene Way, Tom O'Neill. There's some new people on this list. Michael Powell, Colleen Holtz, Diana Rawlings, Christy Westmoreland, Katie Sample, Molly Hall, Upward Regenerative Medicine, Jeanette Palmer, Deanna Burke, Sandra Froling, Dawn Turner, and Sherry Schmidt. A lot of new people on that list. And then our Emerald qualifiers, which is 1,000 to 1,999 in customer volume, were Vicky Meyergard, Jeannie Ebeline, Mary Sawada, Dan Desmond, Tina Van Hill, Beth Gustafson, Crystal Sale, Kim Farniak, and Kristen Storm. It's her first time.
Yay!
And then sapphires that's 2,000 to 3,999 were Sheila Powell, Jen Pensinger, Joyce Wood, Dot Stark, Dean and Lori Elverud, and myself. There was my list. It didn't update on my phone. Okay. The next couple things I want to talk about again, of course, is the global kickoff next Saturday on the 13th. It is free. Make sure that you register for that. The speakers will be Tyler Daniels and Carrie Dickey, and it starts at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And what is it? It is going to set us up for 2024 growth. Product, he said, yearly messaging, product or messaging for the year, new incentives, event planning, and then product and business implication, he said as well. The MVP program did expire in the month of December, but there will be something new coming out. And if you do host a watch party, let me know. There's a link that I can send you. And on that link, once you fill it out, then you can participate in a special webinar this Friday, the 5th at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And that will give you the details to help you prep for the watch party. One other really big thing for the year is that corporate really wants to get dialed in on becoming, getting people to SC1 sooner rather than later. And that essentially is 2,000 in volume. So they just want, Steve Fife wants us to become just masters at getting people to that 2,000 SC1 rank as soon as possible. The other thing, Laura Nowicki mentioned this to me too, is getting back to power hours because it's such a powerful way. I know that, of course, we want to be doing home meetings. We want to be bringing people together. But in doing that, we have to be reaching out to people in the first place, right? So we have people to invite. So I'd like to be doing 2 power hours a week, probably both in the evening so that everybody can attend them. But Laura Nowicki brought up the idea of doing like some social media training on those power hours. I don't want the whole thing to be about social media, but I am willing to do like the first 15, 20 minutes, maybe do some social media training, because I just don't want social media to be a crutch for you guys. I do want it to be a way for you to spread your message and share what you love with others, but I don't want it to be the only thing that you do. The most important thing we can do is be out talking to people and reaching out to people personally. So I will get you more information on that once I set those up, but be looking for that 2 times a week. We've got some masters on our team that are very good at social media that maybe I could have be some little speakers too along the way. So, and the other thing I want to tell you is I listened to this webinar that Jen Dykstra sent to me, and it was titled The 5 Biblical Truths About Business. And I wanted to share just a little bit of it with you guys, and then we'll close in a prayer for the year. But it talked about how we all have gifts, and it is our responsibility to steward those gifts. And we have to stop holding back our talents and our gifts in fear of what other people think. So your gifts, if you use them, they're going to make room for you and they're going to attract people to you. And remembering that we have everything we need to do in this business. Really, from day one, we have everything we need to do this business. The thing that holds us back or stops us is our limiting beliefs. It's our beliefs we have in ourselves. So it's a matter of stopping saying, well, I'm not a good speaker. I'm not a good presenter. I'm not good at knowing the science, because that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, what you're not good at may not even be something that you need. And especially in this business, it's typically not something we need because we have third-party validation and we have people that are smarter than us. I don't believe that I'm great at the numbers, but that's okay. I have Sean Poe in my back pocket, and you guys do too, right? If you're not a good speaker, God says you're good enough. You're good enough at speaking for the person that wants to listen to you. So Steve Fife just talked about this and on the pose, and he talked about really like us amplifying the gifts that we have in this new year. If you love decorating your home, if you love knitting, if you love making quilts, if you love business and mortgages, right? If you, whatever you love, if you love making things, Dean Elverud, I don't want you to try to be a LifeVantage consultant when you show up and talk to people. I want you to show up being the person that loves to do the thing you love to do the most, because those are the people that you're supposed to attract. If you love being with your family and you love being a grandmother, if you love cooking, if you love whatever it is that like lights your fire, I really want to encourage you to start talking more about that. You don't have to attract people by talking about LifeVantage. You attract your tribe by talking about the things that you love. And typically the things that we love is where our gifts shine. So those are the people that you're going to attract. And then in the areas where you think you lack, then you do ATM. You add them to Vitality Living, you take them on some posts, and you bring in messaging with third party. That's what it's there for. ATM is set up to help you in the areas that you think that you lack. So I just really wanted to get that across to you, because isn't that such a beautiful thing that your talents are enough, no matter how small you think they are, they're a big deal to the person that's looking for talents like yours. And the other most important thing you can carry with you in this year is your story. It is your personal story. It is how you felt before LifeVantage came into your life, physically or financially or both. Have a story for each of them. How you felt when you heard about LifeVantage and learned about what it was, and how you are excited for the future now because of it. It's really just those three things. And you can do a product story with that. You can do a financial story with that. And when people ask you what you do, your story becomes a part of that. Well, 5 years ago, da 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 da, and then I found a solution to it. And now today I have more hope than ever. And I want to help people that were in the same position I was 5 years ago. That's what you say when people ask you what you do. You use your story. And if you're talking and attracting to the right people, they're going to want to know more about it because they already trust you, because you've shared your gifts with them and theirs are in alignment with that. Does that make sense? I just really want you to hone in on your gifts this year and be you more than you ever have before, without fear. Like Maria said, break out of the box. I don't want you to worry about being anybody else and rip off the consultant badge. Don't be a LifeVantage consultant. Be Kristen Storm, be Jeannie Ebeling, like be you and share your gifts and your passion with other people and just be of service more than you ever have before. I really, and I hope if you have a word for the year, I would love for you to put it in the chat. I would love to know what your word is. Yes. Jen, will you please share with people the meaning of your word? It's just so powerful. And your Bible verse. I love this. She picked a Bible verse for the year too.
So my word for the year is metanoia. So it means change of heart and change of mind, generally from a spiritual perspective. So it's really just being grounded in all of the things that of who I am, who I'm becoming, and who God wants me to be. So that's really where that came from. It's a Greek meaning. And then my Bible verse for the year is Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. What is good and pleasing to God.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. If you don't have a word yet, totally okay. Like, please don't worry about the pressures of, oh, it's a new year. You better have your goals down. You better have your word figured out. Like, it's okay. Don't worry. But do make time to do that for yourself. More than ever, with the fact that I turned 50 and now this year I'll be 51, which I'm like, oh my gosh, so much time has already gone by. I'm for the really first time in my life, you guys, I used to always just think year to year. And now I'm thinking in 5 years. Like by the time I'm 55, the image and the vision, what I want my life to look like based on what these last years have been like for me. And so I know for all of us, the clearer that we can get on a vision for our life and what we want it to look like, what we want our life to look like, so that we can have a life for our children, so that we can serve, whatever it is, so that we can give. I know Dean has such a big goal of giving and being so philanthropic. Whatever that is, do everything you can to get as clear as possible and spend time in really funneling that in. Because if you do, you're going to utilize this gift you've been given with LifeVantage more than ever because of that clarity. You have to have that vision first. And without it, we're always kind of spinning our wheels. And I also just want to remind you too, being a business owner within LifeVantage, number one, I really want to protect you guys in some way, in every way. But if you ever feel overwhelmed by information coming your way, will you please come to me first and let's talk about it? And number two, really make sure you make time in the day to either check Team Act Facebook or check Team Act Telegram. I put it in both, but check one or the other in the day. Whether it's at noon you check in or at the end of the day you check in. Because I don't want anyone to ever be out of the know, especially with what's coming. I don't know what information's coming. All I know is corporate has big plans for us. And then we've got Nashville in March. So I just want you to be in the know. It's important for you as a business owner. It's important for the people that you're going to bring into the business. It's important for your customers. So make it a goal to check that once or twice a day, okay? Do me that favor, because I just want to make, I always worry that someone's not seeing it. And so I'll text all these different channels, but I don't want to have to do that either. So just make it a goal that you'll check one of those two every day. Okay. I want to leave you with this prayer that I heard today that I thought was so, so good. Okay, let's pray, guys, and then we'll be done. Dear God, thank you for guiding me through the past year, for the lessons learned, the challenges I may have faced, and the moments where I saw you move the most. As I step into this new year, I place my trust and my journey ahead in your hands. Lord, bless this new year. Fill it with joy, fill it with favor. Help me draw closer to you every day to deepen my faith and live out your purpose in my life. I pray for your strength for the challenges ahead and the wisdom to make the right choices. Help me to be a source of kindness and encouragement to those around me, reflecting your love in all that I do. At times when I feel lost, remind me that you are my rock and my foundation. At times when everything is going right, let my heart overflow with gratitude and praise. This year, I ask for your hand to be upon my family and my friends. May we all experience your peace, your joy, and hope in the days to come. So God, thank you for the promise of new beginnings and an ever greater hope for the future. In Jesus' name, amen. So good, isn't it? So good. Oh, I love you guys. I want this to be a year where you blow your own mind. Like, I really want that for you because you're all so capable and you all have so many amazing gifts, and your people are waiting for you. And I think more than ever, they're waiting for a breakthrough. So believe that you have it, utilize the team, but you have to start with utilizing your own gifts. It all starts with you. Nothing else matters unless you take those first steps. So I love you. I thank you for being here, and Happy New Year. Get registered for the 13th, okay? And I'll see you next Monday night. Love you guys. Bye.